Right, are we ready? Yeah. Now then, your scalpel will fit into your hand. If I take that screen right the way down there, your scalpel will fit into your hand. It's got this little cushion of your hand there, okay, which if you put that handle, the base of the handle in that cushion of your hand, your thumb fits nicely round to hold. And you may think that, yeah, we know how to hold a scalpel handle. Make sure that the blade is away from you, okay? This is where it becomes interesting, because then we turn our hand over and we do not move this hand. We don't cut.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we don't cut with this hand at all. Oh, that is reserved for sharpening spears in the woods, okay? So, no, not done that for a while. So what we're doing is your left-hand thumb, are you all right-handed?
No, I'm left-handed.
You're left-handed, right, so you're going to be round the opposite direction to what I'm talking. So when I say my left-hand thumb, you'll think your right one. Yeah. So your left-hand thumb goes on the back of the blade, okay? Now, without doing anything, what I'd like you to do, in fact, you can take your hand away from that blade and just sort of hold your pencil like this, because you will need to turn your pencil with your fingers, okay? It's like a lathe type thing where you're turning the pencil and you'll be sharpening it at the same time.
Like using your thumb.
Left hand thumb stays on the blade. Therefore, we come back about an inch onto the pencil and your left elbow needs to be lifted. Okay, so long as it's not resting, because if you rest your hands like this, you're not going to have that maneuverability. Okay, so lifting that left elbow up, you take your blade and you're slicing. So this is where it becomes tricky, because your brain will want to do this. It will want to sharpen with the right hand. The secret and the key is to keep your left hand thumb on the blade. Therefore, you're pulling, so you're putting the resistance with your left hand thumb on the back of the blade, and you're pulling the pencil back onto the blade. Now, if you're really, really careful and you watch, your right hand should not be moving. Obviously, it's going to sway because you're putting a little bit of pressure on there. Now, what I find is most people will come really close up here and just do little tiny bits. What I want you to do is you shouldn't be gripping it. Keep that about an inch back. So make sure that your hand is back and you're slicing the barrel and leaving. So I don't want you to cut into the pencil, just the barrel. Okay, is everybody getting that?
Yeah.
So you don't actually want to cut into the end bit?
No, we don't want to cut into the pencil, because if you start to cut into the pencil, what will happen is you'll start to dig grooves out into the pencil, so that when you come to sharpen it, all you're going to do is weaken it. Yeah. Okay, so you should end up with something similar, nice fat sort of pencil that's probably got a few little cuts in there, but don't worry about it. We then turn the pencil on its end, and it's very important that you stick your pinky up. Reason being, if you don't stick your pinky up, what happens is you grip the pencil, therefore you'll tighten the muscle on your left hand and you'll be pressing down, and then you'll break your nib. Okay, so pinky up, keep the pencil up like this, and then bring it down slightly. Holding the knife with this finger now on the back of the blade, what we're going to do is we're going to sort of scrape down the side of just the pencil. When we're using this action, we don't cut into the barrel, it's just the pencil. So I'm turning the pencil as I do this, and what I tend to do is pull the pencil back so that you leave like a little trail. That way you can really see, and you'll be able to hear, as you don't need to scrape quite so much, you'll hear when you get to that point and you don't need to sharpen quite so much. That will give you an absolutely perfect sharp point. Okay, so you can practice with another, because you will need to sharpen all your pencils here. And it is good practice. By the end of the day, you'll think, how on earth did I manage without this method?
All these Facebook groups were saying, what's the best thing for sharpening?
I'm hoping to
Pencils.
post this, yes.
Yeah, and all these people are saying, oh, buy this pencil.
No,
sharpener.
pencil sharpeners, they just
Yeah.
break inside.
Yeah.
So I'll just go through that again. The secret is to keep this right hand, and you know, you'll end up with a big dent in your thumb. You're going to start with. Keep that hand still. Take your pencil, or your left hand thumb has to stay on the back of the blade. We come back about an inch and we're pushing as we pull the pencil. So we're pushing with our left hand thumb. We don't take it off. If you take it off, that means you're wanting to sharpen with this side. Okay, keep it on there. And you're pulling the pencil back onto the blade, but not cutting into the actual pencil. So you can see there's no tension in this hand at all. I'm keeping my elbow up. In fact, I kind of hold the elbow close into me rather than having it sort of floating around. So we're keeping that pencil moving all the way round until you end up with a fat lead of the pencil. That's it. Turn it on its side, pinky up, and then you scrape down. To start with, you need to scrape quite hard, and then you can slow it down until you get that point. How's that, Colin? Good? Excellent. Ideally, we do have these pieces of cardboard to cut on, and I always forget to use them.